One thing we haven't really talked a lot about on the podcast before is the experience of using a sperm bank. Could you share a little bit with you and your wife what that experience was like, going through the selection process and the questions you had to ask yourself that you didn't even really consider in the moment?
Yeah, so I lovingly call this search for the superhuman on the podcast because many of us get a little cuckoo cuckoo when we're looking for this donor because yeah, it becomes the search for the superhuman. Some folks use a known donor, and that's beautiful. And that there's so much that goes into that as well that you need to have
Totally.
buttoned up, and so many conversations that need to be done. And my wife and I were not really comfortable with the idea of that, so we went the anonymous donor route. And you go to these banks. Like, first you have to pick your bank, so you do your research on, all right, which bank would be the best bank for us. And we ended up going with a really well-known bank just because our friends had.
Yeah. Community.
Yeah. um and then you buy a subscription to their donor catalog, which is like a monthly fee. And you get like an opening into, like, it's like a toy store of donors. And that's the wrong way to put it. I am not trivializing it in any way, but there are so many donors
Yeah.
on these big sperm websites. And then you start narrowing it down. Then you start asking, okay, so, and the experts that I've talked to since starting the show say that you should start with the medical
Yeah.
and then whittle it down from there. But me and my wife, we didn't do that. And many people don't. We started
Right.
with the looks.
Right.
And we did it all backwards. Can I swear? Just let me
Oh,
know.
yes. Yeah.
We did it ass backwards in all which ways. And I've learned since then that was totally wrong. But, we both kind of look similar. People think we're sisters all the time, which is an annoying lesbian thing. But yeah, we have similar looks, and we both knew we wanted to carry. So we just kind of decided we would choose someone that kind of vaguely looked like us, which, it's interesting. And a lot of folks do that. And so, we were looking for someone with similar characteristics to the both of us. And then we were like, all right, well, you're sporty and I'm artsy. So let's see if we can find a mix of both. So then we went that route, the personality route. And then we looked at like family history and medical.
Are they healthy?
We went all kinds of backwards. But you also really don't know. Like, a lot of these sperm donors are young men who are, in the dorms trying. We have
trying
to
to put themselves through college.
Yes, exactly. So like, do they really know their family medical history? Like, maybe they're filling it out to the best of their abilities, but also they're still so young too. They don't know they don't know what's going to happen to their parents, or, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of this is unknown, and you're taking a step in the dark. You have to rely on trust in these instances as well. And so it's an interesting, and then you start ruling out donors because of the most random things. Like, I've talked to people who are like, because they'll give you voice recordings. You can get voice recordings. You get baby pictures. Oh yeah, that's something you can get. And you can pay extra for extra things. Like the voice recording, I think it was like an extra charge. Like, we put so much money into these family building journeys, and for people to say that we shouldn't be parents is just the most asinine thing. We're the most intentional parents there are, if we want to get real. But you can pay for like a voice recording, and like I had talked to one couple that was like, oh yeah, we paid for the voice recordings. We were narrowing it down between two. And then I heard his voice and I was like, oh no, never. His voice is so annoying. It's like not your kid though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so funny. I ruled a donor out because he wrote on his form that he had acne as a teenager. Like, who doesn't have acne as a teenager? But I was like, oh no, we can't have that. And then I completely failed to notice in the donor we chose that he was a twin.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't want twins because we just wanted 2 kids, 1 and 1. Right. Yeah. And just failed to notice that. But I knew what color his hair was. Like,
right.
So, but there are many people who actually do it the right way, and they start with the medical, and they really do their homework. I can't say I did the best homework. I can't. I'm not the spokesperson for that, and then people, choose known donors because they really want to know more. And there are many people who advocate to use known donors. And there's so many intricacies to this. And every single path is actually really valid and really beautiful, and no path is better than another. I just want to say that. This is just the path we chose, and it's a wild ride. It really is.